Well, Nicole, I've never made a seed bomb or even seen it made before. So please, I'm excited to learn how to do this fun activity so I can.
Wonderful.
Yes.
Well, I'm very excited to show you. So this is one of the activities that we love to do at the farm to get kids, excited about what's happening and to get their hands dirty right away so that they can participate on the farm,
Really get in
for
there.
the rest of the field trip. So we have a couple of ingredients.
Uh-huh.
First, we need 2 scoops of potting soil. We need a little bit of clay.
A little bit. What's
Just
the
a
clay
little
do? Like
bit.
a binder?
The clay is, it acts as a binding agent in the seed ball just to kind of hold it together. You can also use flour.
Okay.
It's a cheaper ingredient. We use bentonite clay. We just
Okay.
order it online. And then, of course, we need a pinch of seeds. We have a wildflower mix from Johnny's, but you can use whatever you want. And then a little bit of water.
Uh-huh.
Just a little bit, and then we mix it up. And basically, as we're mixing this, you might be wondering, why are we making a seed ball? Let me just show that.
Uh-huh.
A seed ball is a great way to propagate wildflowers in a place that maybe you can't get to. Maybe it's over a fence. You can just take that seed ball and just chuck it over the fence.
How fun.
And the consistency that we're going for is
Early mud pie?
mud pie, but not muddy. That's what I always tell the kids.
So mud pancake, huh?
Mud pancake. Then we have the kids dump it out.
Uh-huh.
And if you are a 3rd grade teacher, then this is a great activity that you can do in the classroom if you're teaching about soil components, because you can have all the kids talk about the different things that are made up in or that soil is made up of, and that soil helps all of our plants to survive. And then you can take it and chuck it. Now, I recommend leaving them to dry for about a day, and then when you throw it, then that clay cracks open, and then there's just enough soil and moisture for those little seeds to germinate and kind of get their root structure started.
Fantastic. Well, what time of year is it best to make seed balls?
We do them in the spring, and they kind of just get started, get plants started all over our farm. So it's, that's the time of year that we do it, but I think you could probably do it in the fall as well.
Oh, that's fantastic. What a fun way to basically spread wildflowers throughout your, I'll say, garden, your field, or maybe your community.
Yeah, absolutely. We tell kids to chuck them in their neighborhoods, at a park, and very thankful. I've often wondered where this activity came from. It's a bit of a mystery to me where it came from, but I know I learned it from the Edith J. Carey Arboretum, so give them the shout out.
Sounds great. I will say, as a person who manages a park, to make sure that invasive seeds are not used.
Well said. Well said. Choose your seeds wisely. Others will thank you.
Yes. We had a woman come and she was spreading money plant, the Lunaria seeds.
No, not money plant.
She was having a good heart. She we did a little education. And
absolutely. Choose wisely.
Yes, choose very wisely.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. Well, speaking of choices, you were saying too that the kids really enjoy playing with some of the herbs and some of the vegetables, and I see you've got some here, some lovely herbs to share. So what are some fun things that they have with that?
Absolutely. So I am so excited to talk about some of these flowering herbs that we grow in the farm. One that I wanted to highlight is dill. Dill is one of my favorite plants in the farm because it's a great way to teach kids about the life cycle of a plant, because dill is interesting at every stage of its life cycle. So of course, we start it in the greenhouse with seeds. The seeds germinate, great vocabulary word for our elementary schoolers. Then when it becomes a seedling, we transplant it outside. And at that point of its life cycle, we're talking about how it's a great culinary herb. We do a lot of quick pickles with summer squash, and dill just goes so great in that. Those are great summer recipes that don't require any heat. So you can just harvest the vegetables and make them, and kids love harvesting this dill. A little bit of a dill plant goes a long way in a recipe, so that's a great choice for your summer kitchen. And then, of course, it's a great sensory plant too at that point in its life. So it's so fragrant and so alive.
Yes.
Some of this is mammoth dill, so it's getting really tall.
I wish I wasn't so far away. I'd be like smelling
Absolutely. And then, of course, the second stage is it's going to bolt. This is actually starting to bolt a little bit because it was a little hot in our greenhouse. And then it's got that lovely umbel flower, that yellow and green. And we like to talk about with kids that that is also useful as a cut flower.
Exactly.
It attracts pollinators. And then the last stage is when it is producing seed, which of course can also be harvested and then used again in a lot of those wonderful dill recipes like pickles.
Exactly.
So it's kind of interesting at every stage. So that's one of our favorite herbs.
And I think people need to realize growing dill at home that they should wait about every 2 weeks and sow a little more so they get this succession of.
You have a nice succession.
Yes.
That's absolutely right. Yeah.
One of my favorites, to be honest with you.
Definitely.
But we have the cousin over there.
Yes, so we have another member of the carrot family. This is parsley. And another great herb for the farm. This one's a little shorter, so better for our preschoolers who can, kind of see the entire plant, whereas a lot of the plants that we grow are kind of big. And parsley is interesting as an educational plant on the farm because, as you know, it attracts black swallowtail caterpillars. And so that's a great way to talk with kids about insects. And, are insects on the farm pests?
Yes.
Or are they beneficial pollinators? And I think the answer is both.
Yes.
So we do sacrifice some of our parsley to the insects, but it's so fun with kids to, we gently find those caterpillars and then we rehome them to our bronze fennel where they can be happy and we can let them have it.
You just kind of move them on over.
Yes, absolutely. So, so that's another fun way that we can talk with kids about not just the vegetables on the farm, but also who else lives here.
Yes, and weave in that story that show that it's an ecosystem.
Absolutely.
And not just a bunch of plants and dirt.
There you go.
Yep.
Yeah.
Well, another story is the sunflower, and what person doesn't enjoy sunflowers? And you've got some here to share as well.
So I brought two. So this is a mammoth sunflower, and here's our teddy bear sunflower. So this is one of the tallest sunflowers that you might find, and I planted these around the same time. This one's a little sooner, but just look how it shot up. They go so fast.
Yes.
And sunflowers are a great plant to try with kids. First of all, because the seeds are big, they're easy to grow. They grow in the summer. And another thing is you can sort of also talk about a child growing. They can have them measure their height next to the sunflower and see how they're growing. And then also they're just so lovely.
They are, and they're so fun. We don't have a lot of time left.
Right.
I think one of the things I love with the mammoth sunflowers is you can pull the seeds out kind of, as it grows, it makes this silly face that smiles at the kid.
Fun.
And it's so silly. And the teddy bears are just so fuzzy, and they're down at the kids' level.
Down at the level, exactly.
So they
what I
can
was
see and
say.
play with it. Yes.
Wonderful.
I don't think people realize there's just so many heights and colors of sunflowers these days.
Absolutely.
That you can go from anywhere from like 12, 18 inches all the way up to 12 feet.
Exactly, yes.
So, and plant a sunflower forest, and it's so fun. Well, Nicole, this has been fun, and I can see how you're engaging children, and you're engaging them in a fun way, and to teach them at the same time about our ecosystem, about farming, and about being able to grow their own food and their own seasonings. So
Definitely.
thank you. This has been great, and I look forward to making wildflower balls with my little gardeners.
Awesome.
So.